right through. A bit of a slow start. We've seen some rapid starts so far, but there goes Half-Life, picking up the lead, flying around 10-2, looking for points. Meanwhile, Kent Jammer still being recycled back.
Well, Changtae takes the start off and tries to pass once again. Dorset with only 2 blockers on track, but that is enough to slow down Changtae. Once again, taking away speed and space from that Jammer really affects their ability. But we've seen a star pass to 808. That's Bang.
Yeah, Bang picking up the star. And it was 4-0. It was Alex on fire doing some great defensive work, holding Changtae for as long as possible. And that really paid off for Dorset, who are still hunting down this point split that Kent have. 53 plays 34 now. That's a 19-point split in favor of Kent. But Dorset hanging in there and just trying to get the better in these jams. And slowly, you know, they are getting back into it.
I don't think it's an insurmountable differential at this point in the game. I don't think it's anything they need to be worrying about. What really needs to happen here is for Dorset to keep their cool and just play to their strategies, play to their plans. And false start by the Jammer there as an official timeout is called. Yeah, so just keeping it cool and not allowing Kent to rattle. What I'm witnessing, I feel, is that Kent are definitely the more dominant team on track in terms of their physicality and the way that they're able to split apart the packs and really dictate the speed of those packs. But Dorset are really focusing all their energies on the Kent Jammer and sitting on them and keeping their cool there and just trying to build those walls at the back and not get distracted. However, that's tiring throughout the length of a game. So Dorset's main challenge is going to be doing that and also keeping those penalties down. We're already seeing 8 penalties for Kent, 6 for Dorset.
Yeah, and we're coming to the halfway through the first period, and we know the tide of the skaters get the penalties do happen. Nesta Vipers flies out the pack and picks up the lead. Great speed and inside track awareness from Nesta Vipers. Meanwhile, Little Chef removing the star cover, breaking out the pack, and now looking for points themselves. Dorset trying to get the blockers forward. Thunder jumping the apex to meet Nesta Vipers. Great defensive work, but Nesta Vipers, relentless footwork, relentless power coming through, picking up 4 points, as does Little Chef.
And Nesta Vipers really able to put that physicality to use and keep it clean. Comes in against MacDeath, gets knocked out, calls off that jam just as Little Chef hit the back of the pack. 4 points for Kent, but 7 points for Dorset. 41 plays 57 now, Bear, with 15 minutes left of this first half.
Yeah, 16 points. I mean, it's a nothing lead, and the games we have seen here this weekend, really nice close games, and hopefully we'll see one here on the One Body track in this game. So we're about to go again, drop and give me 20, and Boomstick lining up on the jam line. Don't know why I said Boomstick like I did, but I kind of liked it.
I feel like that needs to be it forever. Drop and give me 20, running the gauntlet of the Dorset blockers at the back of this pack. Drawn back and recycled by Alex is on fire.
Who really is having a great game so far. You could say he's having a great game.
Judas Priest really trying to offer up some offense, but instead picks up a penalty. So 1 blocker down. But Drop and Give Me does succeed in picking up lead 30 seconds into this jam. However, Boomstick hot on his wheels. No separation here as they go into the scoring run.
No, not at all. Drop and Give Me 20, just keeping in touch with the bench. Boomstick getting the better, and Drop and Give Me 20 just shuts the jam down.
Well, great pressure by Dorset there to force that jam call off.
Yeah, it wasn't just a case of let's just wait for the jammer. Let's speed this up.
Yeah.
Let's get it. And maybe it's a tactic seen by, we've seen that with a lot of Tier 1 WFTDA leagues as well. I know it's a big tactic with Rainy City, who as soon as they're in that situation, they just speed these packs up.
Just run away.
Run away immediately. 27-5 in 2 minutes. Jam, jam, jam.
Okay, number 17, it's Tiggs back on the radar wheels jam line, joined by number 27, Half-Life for Dorset. Tiggs striking out first, comes up against a wall of orange, red, yellow, which is Dorset. Can't find the space, but does on the outside, picks up lead. Meanwhile, Dorset's jammer sneaks through the defensive walls.
Yep, but and Gus get it out. Meanwhile, again, that Dorset pack just being broken apart by Kent. Thunder, last line of defense. Tiggs comes through, picking up the points. Meanwhile, Half Meanwhile, Half-Life being recycled back on the straightaway. Bang holding strong, keeping Half-Life. Big hit by Thunder, taking Tiggs all the way back on the straightaway.
And this is a bit of a cleansing jam for Tiggs. 3rd jam into this game, but the first time he's been able to put points on the board for his team.
Yep, as a jammer, if it's not going well, you've just got to keep getting out there. You just got to keep trying to put them points on the board, and that's exactly what Tiggs has done. Exercise
those demons.
What was that?
Spoopy.
What was that? I'm sorry.
You should be ashamed.
I don't know what's got. I watched Casper the Friendly Ghost last night, and it scared the hell out of me. 64 playing 45.
That was a 7-point jam total for Kent, but Dorset able to put 4 points on the board. Please don't ever do that noise ever again in my vicinity.
It just really scared me.
That scared me. 105 Malpaca with the star now comes up against little chef number 9 for Dorset.
Meanwhile, Malpaca just fighting out front. No lead jam so far, but there we go. As soon as I said it, it happens. Happy days. And Little Chef with the lead.
Little Chef able to take that inside line with very little aggravation.
Yeah, it was quite uncommon, really, because Kent have been, very, as you said, dominant in this situation. Jam rolls to an end, and it looks like points on the board being picked up. Looks like with just the scoreboard looks to have been holding on to the points from the last jam as well. So just waiting for them to be actually cleansed away, because it was a 0-4 jam. And it's someone I know, cleansed away. I'm sorry. Fetch the brush. So 64 plays 49. Aha! I'm the Alan Partridge of roller derby.
We've got 11 minutes left of this first half, and I think we're having a quick official timeout just to fix that scoreboard, cleanse it.
Cleanse the scoreboard.
So 7-8-9, Nesta Vipers back on the jammer line. So we are seeing maybe just a little bit more of Nesta in this game compared to yesterday.
Jam line 64 plays 49, 11 minutes of this first period left to play, and we are back into the action B.
And Nesta Vipers jamming in this game has already put 24 points of Kent's total score on the board. So Nesta Vipers comes around the outside, but he's picked up a cut track penalty. Now it looks like Nesta Vipers had seeded, but obviously hadn't gone back far enough. I think missed out a blocker there. So this is power jam for Dorset. An opportunity is knocking for Boomstick to be able to even up that scoreline. So far, Boomstick in this game has been a main point scorer for Dorset.
Yeah, but just getting recycled back by Bang at this time. Been taken all the way back just after turn 2. Back into the action. Dorset going on the offense, but still 2 blocks of Kent waiting. And there goes Chief, and there goes Boomstick down to the floor.
And Boomstick, quite rightly, calling off that jam and icing Kent's jammer in the penalty box. So 64 plays 53. Well, I did say this was an opportunity for them to take that scoreline a bit further, but obviously with that hit out, they didn't feel quite maybe confident that that was the right lineup to really take advantage. They're going to have a couple of seconds here to try and grab that lead jammer status before Nesta Viper comes out of the penalty box. Obviously less than 10 seconds as he's standing, but we know the speed of Nesta Vipers, so Dorset really going to have to push hard, and it's number 27, Half-Life, with the star for them. As Nesta Vipers released, Half-Life does not pick up lead, picks up a cut track penalty, but it looks like Nesta Vipers picks up a low block.
Yeah, literally from the get-go, comes out of the penalty box. It kind of hits the deck and hits the back of the blocker. The blocker didn't move that much, but the low block was assessed anyway, and the penalty is in play. Also, looks like Half-Life didn't actually need to go to the penalty box. He's now back into the action. So it looks as though, which is some penalty clarification there, we are still looking at a power jam for Dorset and a chance to rein in this Kent score.
Meanwhile though, 40 seconds of this jam has gone on, and Half-Life, as you say, through and completing that initial pass. Looks like there is some conversation happening in the penalty box with Nesta Vipers about how long the penalty is. But he's now returning to track as Half-Life up front stays upright and in bounds despite a challenge from Pont. Nesta Vipers comes powering through.
Yeah, just being chased by Tai Cheetah, but picks up the speed and gets out of the pack. But this has been a promising jam for Dorset, already picking up points into this jam. Tries to call it off, but there is no lead jam at this time, so both jammers are going to be rolling into this full 2 minutes. Nesta Vipers now in a scoring time. Tim Karmashian just holding strong, just trying to keep Nesta Vipers back.
And wonderful blocking this brace 3 wall from Dorset up front. Fantastic at keeping Nesta Vipers at bay. It was number 47, K-Train, who came in and broke up that with some fabulous offence for Kent.
Yeah, now holding strong for Half-Life. Half-Life not being given an inch. Meanwhile, Nesta Vipers rolling, scrolling away at that Dorset pack, trying to find the gaps. Looks like a penalty goes to assess for Alex is on fire. Also, a Kent blocker goes for a sit down in the penalty box as the jam comes to an end.
So a few more penalties being picked up along the way there by Dorset. Another 2 blockers, sorry, in the penalty box. So we're going to have a wait and skate situation going on. Now we think in that last jam, the reason why there was no lead jammer was that there was a no pass, no point, no penalty given to the Dorset jammer.
Yeah,
So
I think you're right, B.
just a little bit, well, it wasn't me, I've got to say. Taking no responsibility for any of the wise words out of my mouth today.
Taking all responsibility for all the words is Beatrix.
They're all mine now, I own them. So we are in an official timeout, and I guess there is just going to be some clarification around that penalty box issue. I don't want to call it an issue, but I couldn't think of a better word.
A concern?
Yeah. Highlight. A penalty box highlight. What's your top 10 penalty box highlights, Bear?
When I skated into a penalty box at high speed and there was nobody there but my breaking heart for getting a penalty.
Aww. It's sad when you give yourself penalties.
To be fair, I deserved them.
Constantly giving myself cut tracks.
Constantly giving myself insubordination.
Usually low blocks when there's chairs around.
Why don't you tell us about your highlight penalty boxes by twittering us in at British Champs? I can tell you a funny story about a penalty box, but it has to be after 8 o'clock in the evening, and you have to be over 18. So
just checking in with Penalty City here. Kent with 15 in total for their players. Dorset with 14. I don't think anybody's in any major drama just yet. Just checking in with the jammers. Brutes on 3. Is that drop and give me, or Runjib on 3 as well? Now yesterday I think Runjib was either close or did foul out in the Kent game.
Yeah, as you said, been nothing to worry about so far. Meanwhile, we're back into the action. Tiggs lining up, jamming for Kent and fighting out and picking up lead, but looks as though running into a penalty trouble. So now a power jam swings straight to Dorset. A chop of the hand. Chop of the hand, and the penalty is assessed. So
it is power jam for Dorset. Micro pack out on track though for both teams as blockers sitting in the penalty boxes.
Looks like Dorset now down to 1 blocker as the penalty box empties with 2 of Dorset. And Kent still just now with 3 blockers on track. A bit of a melee onto 10, 3 and 4. Little Jeff is through. Beautiful footwork by Little Chef to get on the inside line there and just around the blockers from Kent, with actually very little physicality used. Yeah, again, Dorset just using a little bit more offense on that pass, getting Little Chef through, but now having to go to defense as Tiggs is out of the penalty box and hunting out, trying to break out. And looks like jam has rolled to an end. Well, Bang did take the star towards the end of that jam, but it was called by Little Chef, as you say. Let's check in with the scores there, though. 12 points picked up by Dorset, which actually puts them in the lead there. 74 plays 72 for Kent. We've got just under 6 minutes left of this first half. So fantastic showing by Dorset, keeping their heads and just grinding away at that differential, and it's really paid off for them. Right now, though, we have 105 Malpaca with the star for Kent, and that's 109 Boomstick. Boomstick going to defense mode at this time. Maybe just waiting for blockers going to the penalty box. If it's a tactic that I haven't seen too much here this weekend, but now Boomstick getting into the action with the Kent blockers and trying to break on through to the other side, as is Malpaca. And Malpaca now dealing with Thunder, and Thunder just holding strong last line defense, and Malpaca's through. Lead jam.
Yeah, good marking by Thunder there on Malpaca to try and slow down that progress as much as possible. Broomstick is out on the initial now, shrugging off the advances from Brute.
Yeah, meanwhile, Malpaca now coming back into the pack. 3 blockers of Dorset await Malpaca, and Malpaca's taken off on the inside, just to jam down.
Well, let's see what that did with the scores there. 2 points picked up for Kent, 1 point for Dorset, so 74 plays 75 in favour of Dorset.
So 1 point game now, 74 plays 75. Nice close game.
Team timeout called by Kent. Surprisingly, we've got 4 minutes 38 left of this half.
We did have that quite a long time out at the beginning of about into the first 10 minutes of the first period, which just held up a little bit of this game. So it does feel like we have been on track longer. And stick with us. We've got the 4 minutes left, and it is a close game as well as they play into a 3rd and 4th playoff.
I'm really excited that it is a close game, because I think sometimes blowouts happen, but this weekend what we've seen is actually a lot of really great close games, and those rankings almost making sense.
Yes.
And that's way more exciting. Way more exciting.
Absolutely. We love the exciting games. We've had some belters here already this weekend. Maybe you've got a favourite game. Maybe you want to tweet into Brit Champs and let us know. Maybe you want to message Beatrix and let Beatrix know what the favourite game was.
Yes, thanks. Please slide into my DMs. Please don't. Please don't.
Her DMs are open and messages are ready to be received.
News from the stat repo is the Brute for Kent, number 66, is actually sitting on 5 penalties already as we march into the final minutes of this first half. Number 21 with the star for Dorset.
Yeah, that's drop and give me, and we're looking at 2-1 break, trying to break out, but no, it's 2-7, sorry, it's Half-Life. Half-Life thought they'd picked up a penalty, kind of slowed things down, but still comes out and picks up lead. Drop and give me 20, just behind Half-Life now.
So not a lot of separation between these two jammers. 1 blocker apiece in that penalty box. Half-Life entering the pack first on a scoring pass. Scooches on that inside to pick up points. Drop and give me just coming up against a little bit of friction from the Dorset blockers. That's Thunder Alex is on fire once again. But drop and give me is through. Completes that initial scoring pass. Half-Life already on a second. Takes a shirt whip from Alex is on fire. Lands on his knees and calls off the jam.
Now, that shirt whip was...
So that was a lovely shirt whip. That shirt whip was fantastic, and I did feel a little bit like I was in the early 2000s again. It was beautiful.
Absolutely.
Where's the knee-high socks?
I've got mine on. Okay,
so 4 points picked up by Kent in that last round. It looks like 6 points.
Yes, so running that jam paid off just at the end. 78 playing 81 as we roll into 3 minutes left of this first period. Nesta Vipers flies out, picks up lead for Kent.
Well, jamming for Dorset and having some real trouble getting through there is Little Chef.
Yeah, just being held now by the Kent blockers, all 4 on track and holding strong. Nesta Vipers, meanwhile, gets past the 4 blockers over Dorset and is through for 5 points.
And that braced wall from Kent at the front there was absolutely fantastic, because it just cleared that inside line, the outside line for Nesta Vipers completely, and gave a free and easy pass through for those first set of points. This time a little bit more trouble, but very clean on that outside. Beautiful footwork from Nesta Vipers once again. Little Chef not having the same level of success in this jam, being marked quite closely by Zero Pro from Kent, who chases through the pack. But Little Chef finally through. That's completing his initial though, Bear.
And Nesta Vipers realising that, shutting the jam down before any points lost, and the lead has been retaken by Kent. So 90 plays, 81, 9-point spread with 2 minutes of this first period left to play.
Well, I don't like saying it's anybody's game, but it is anybody's game right now. It's an appropriate use of the phrase right now. It's sanctioned. The rest of the time when I hear people saying it, no. Denied. Number 17, Tiggs, on the jammer line for Kent. Comes up against 109. It's Boomstick.
Yep, and away we go. Chief just controlling that front brace for Kent.
Well, look at Tiggs go. The angriest stick out on track right now, keeping those arms down, but shimmying through with those shoulders of steel.
Do you know their shoulders of steel?
I'm just assuming.
Okay.
Well, I mean, look at that hit. And Tiggs really kind of a double threat player because able to make his own spaces impact, doesn't have to necessarily rely on his blockers to get on through. Completes his scoring pass, 5 points on the board. But Boomstick at the back of this pack just really struggling to get past Bang, sorry.
Yeah, Tiggs now just trying to check in with the bench, not sure what they want from him. He's being recycled back into that pack, and it looks like Boomstick is on the way to the penalty box. So as we roll in to the last few seconds of this first period, it's not really working out for Dorset at this time. Tiggs is back through, picking up 5 points.
Yep, so that was a cut track penalty assessed to Boomstick. Tiggs having the jam of his life right now, hits the 100 mark for Kent, comes in, braced four wall up front, no pack called, and Kent forced to just pull forward, but Dorset receiving the penalty there. Tiggs takes the outside line, no pass, no point, no penalties. 4 points picked up on that scoring run.
Yeah, Tiggs now just again checking in with the bench. It's a good thing to do, and it always, always keeps in line with what you have in it. And
well, Boomstick back on track and in play immediately with the shutdown on Tiggs and forces that call off, which to be fair was the best line of strategy for Dorset at that time. Stop the bleeding and force the call off. So that does take us into half-time there. 14-point jam by Tiggs just there takes Kent over to 104. Dorset sitting at 8. We've got just under 14 minutes left. We'll come back with points and penalties just before the start of the second half. You're listening to the lovely Beatrix, and I'm also listening to the lovely Beatrix. It's some kind of meta-inception happening. You're
I'm just a bear.
You're just
a bear
a
with
bear.
words.
And we have Miami with all the stats and facts, and we'll be back shortly.
Ta-ra.
Let's give you some stats and information. So just going to go through some interesting things with you, Bear, if you like.
That sounds great. Go for it.
First of all, let's have a quick look at the Kent's highest scorers. So we've got 7, 8, 9 Nesta Vipers on 48 of the total amount of points scored by Kent. Drop and Give Me 20 with 13 and Tiggs with 21. On Dorset's side, it's Half-Life with 34 points and Little Chef with 39. So there are standout jammers. But then when we look a little bit deeper into this, Nesta actually sitting with 3 penalties, Tiggs with 2, Chang with 1. Malpaca and Drop and Give Me 20 are actually clean, no penalties there. So good news for Kent. When we look at the lead ratio, 7, 8, 9, that's Nesta Vipers, 50% of the time getting lead. 3 leads out of the 6 jams he's played so far. Number 20, Drop and Give Me, out of the 4 jams played so far, 75% lead. And looking over at Dorset, number 27, I've just gone half blind, it's Half-Life with a 43% lead ratio. And number 9 and 109, so that's Little Chef and Boomstick, both with a 29% lead ratio. So overall percentages on lead status is achieved out of the 21 jams in the last half. Kent with 11, Dorset with 7, and obviously that's reflected within the scoreline, Bear.
Absolutely, and if we look at what happened in the last few minutes of this first period, where Kent really took hold of that game as well and came out with that 23-point spread that we're now seeing on the scoreboard.
Yep.
104 plays 81, and we're about to dance into the second period. And Dorset, it's not an insurmountable lead at this time, but they just need to be calm and collected, as you said, and move forward.
Yeah, totally. And I feel like they did slightly lose their heads towards the end of the last half. So let's see what will happen now. We do have number 27. It's Half-Life wearing the star. But Nesta Vipers being sent to the penalty box, then sent back on. So no lead jammer just yet. 15 seconds of this jam gone. And Nesta Vipers having to run that gauntlet of blockers once again, which gives Half-Life the opportunity there to pick up lead.
Yeah, just a little bit of confusion at the beginning of that jam, and we've seen that a couple of times now, but Half-Life making his lead just pay off, gliding the outside and staying in bounds after that hit. Great work from Half-Life, coming through, picking up 5 points as Nesta Viper's still being held. And we do have the star pass that has gone to 808, which is bang.
Yeah, and I think it is worth noting, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but the other side of the track, the other track in this hall, obviously with the whistles there, I think it does sometimes cause a little bit of confusion with all skaters. It's unavoidable.
It does happen, and as we are looking at 2 tracks in the same very close proximity, it is going to happen.
Yeah. Well, jam came to an end there. 4 points picked up by Kent.
And it looks like 8 points being picked up by Dorset. So 108 plays 89, and 19 points in it with Kent with that point spread. And we've got Drop and Give Me 20 and Little Chef on the jam line.
Dorset with 1 blocker sitting in that penalty box as the jammers leave the radar wheels jam line and begin their push into the initial pass.
Absolutely.
It was very pronounced. Drop and Give Me picks up lead.
Yep, comes flying out, and just at the back so far, Little Chef just trying to find the outside, does so, and does come out with Drop and Give Me 20, looking at a good 3/4 of a track to play with. Comes through that broken up Dorset pack. Great work from K-Train, going to that offense defense and just breaking apart. And Thunder and Mother Mercy couldn't answer that for that moment.
No. And Little Chef really did drop back and wait for that offense to come around and help spring him free from the pack. I just wonder whether Dorset need to kind of ramp up that physicality a little bit, and the jammers need to just start trying to make those holes themselves, as Dorset's blockers really have to start focusing on containing and stopping the Kent jammers.
Yes, it's because of the dominance of Kent, as you've said before in the first period, B. They're really just making that pay that little bit extra at this time, and Kent might just start trying to eke out this point differential. But we're seeing now on track Boomstick trying to break on through to the other side, and Tiggs being held just at the back of that Dorset wall. 1 offense coming in from Dorset, working tirelessly, just trying to break out, but really Kent doing some great work on reforming. Bang out there yet again. Big hit, taking Boomstick to the floor.
Well, that's Boom and Quigley up front, but out of play called, so they had to desist. Tiggs trying to get through the pack, kind of glided along there. Finally breaks through. That is a scoring pass. 5 points on the board, but Boomstick on a scoring pass himself calls off the jam.
Yeah, jam getting shut down. 1-1-2 plays at 93. So we still had that 19-point split in favour of Kent, as we've just come into up to 4 minutes of gameplay as we're going to dance into this next jam.
I need to take that back a little bit as well, because actually Kent were on their initial pass. The jammer was on the initial pass there, so no points scored by Kent. And as you say, those 4 picked up for Dorset. And again, I'm just going to say it, I feel like Dorset could have run that jam a little bit longer. They could have took the chance for a further 4 points, but we are where we are.
Absolutely. You can't go back in time.
You cannot.
You can't go back in time.
Half-Life with that drop shoulder around the outside shrugs off any kind of defensive work from the Kent blockers. Completes the initially record time there and comes in for a scoring pass once again, not allowing Pro there to distract or disrupt the path of points.
And trying to get on that path of points is Malpaca, but they've just been taken off by Thunder, recycled back. Meanwhile, Half-Life right out front, that'll break through the century for Dorset, so they're now really hunting that scoreline on. Great star pass to Bang. Great awareness from the pivot. Bang really proving great work in this game.
Yeah. Well, Half-Life calls off the jam from the floor in the middle of that pack, picks up a further 3 points, 13-point jam total overall. Takes the score 106 to 112, so a 6-point differential in it right now, Bear.
Oh, I just got so excited with the maths.
I was just idly wondering, when I should have been paying attention to the game, whether Half-Life had maybe greased himself up during the half-time because of the way he was slipping through that pack. There was absolutely no touching him. Pro was trying to lay down the hits on the exit, but just couldn't land a shoulder.
So 1-1-2 plays 106. Nesta Vipers picks out lead. I hate you sometimes.
Little Chef, though, hot on his wheels here as Nesta Viper runs up the track, jumps the apex, calls off the jam. Fast pace, 4 points.
Yeah, great work from Nesta Vipers. I mean, I know they're in that 5-jammer rotation, but they might want to think about using Nesta Vipers a little bit more.
I feel like Nesta Vipers could bring a lot more to the point score for Kent, and actually what I feel it would do is it would calm down some of those blocking decisions that the rest of the team make, because I think with a more comfortable lead they'd feel a little bit less concerned about the Dorset Jammers.
Insightful as ever.
They're not listening to us, they're playing a game. So 105, it's Boomstick, your lead jammer for Dorset, and Star Pass off the line pretty much, dropping Give Me to number 47. That's K-Train taking the star for the first time in this game.
Yeah, K-Train flying around. It looks like the jammer's already been shut down though. A couple of points being picked up by Dorset. So 116 now plays 108. So an 8-point split with 23 minutes left to play in this second period.
So Dorset coming out and putting on the pressure in the second half, but Kent also answering that pressure and elevating their own game. I really did enjoy that star pass to K-Train. And actually I enjoy Kent's star passes overall. They're very quick, very smooth, obviously very well versed in doing it.
Yeah, it's a lot of things we've seen this weekend when it's essential. There doesn't seem to be many mistakes. We have seen it in the past, and they seem to. It's something that you bring to training now. It's something you do in training.
Yeah. Tiggs with the star for Kent. It's Little Chef for Dorset. Everybody's hitting the floor, and it looks like Tiggs picks up the penalty. Low block penalty assessed. So power jam in favour of Dorset, and Little Chef makes it out. No pass, no point, no penalty. So this jam will go for the full 2 minutes.
Yep, 3 blockers on track for Dorset at this time. Little Chef coming back around, looking for points, looking to meet that point score of Kent. Chief shutting it down momentarily.
I'm not sure the slow sausage strategy works well in this game against Kent. I feel like Dorset need to come in with that swooping offence much quicker and really support their team. Little Chef trying to call it off, then remembers. Oh, I skipped that player. Oh, damn you, past me. So forced to run this gauntlet up front, led by number 66, Brute.
Yeah, Brute now recycling Little Chef back. Tiggs back in play, trying to get past Alex is on fire and does so. Little Chef being clipped off track, but also the blocker joins them. So Little Chef back in play, great jump as well, avoiding the contact.
Yeah, that was actually beautiful footwork once again from Little Chef, which we've seen quite a few consistent times. Tiggs now trying to take the outside, comes up behind number 19, his own player, Ron Jib, looking for some support.
Looks like a couple of penalties going to Alex is on fire now, has gone for a sit down. Penalty was Dorset losing 2 blockers now to the penalty box as Tiggs fights their way out and comes through. Picks up points for Kent.
Hard fought 4 points for Kent there.
Yeah, just keeps that points just in favour of Kent as the jam rolls to an end.
No, 9-point jam for Dorset there. 4 points for Kent. Takes the scores 117 to 120.
Nice close game, 3 points in it, the closest it's been since after jam 3 of the first period.
Totally agree.
Absolutely.
Dorset though with 2 blockers sit in the penalty box, and you know, I really want them to keep their heads, and I really feel like they're just losing it a little bit. But let's see what happens in this jam. 105, Mal Packer straight off that radar wheels jammer line to pick up lead jammer.
Yeah, big offense came through from Kent. It was just a big breaking apart. It looks as though just got an issue just with the penalty boxes. One of the blockers is coming out. Tried to take the chair with them. It's not WWF, so we won't be having none of that, thank you.
Oh, Mal Packer staying upright and inbounds despite those blocks raining down on him. Took the inside line and 5 further points for Kent.
Yeah, now Kent losing a blocker to the penalty box. Half-Life is out and about. Now looking for points, but Mal Packer still control. Great work again from Mal Packer, running that inside line and getting the offense from Kent at the last minute. Able to pick up some points and able just to bring that point differential back to a 12-point split.
And what I really feel about Mal Packer as well, obviously I can't tell because I'm not down there, but they feel like they have excellent communication in their pack, with their pack. You know, I feel like Mal's pack really understands what they need to be able to get through and get that inside line, and you see it in the way that they touch and kind of just move their own blockers out of the way. They've got a very clear understanding of the path they want to take. Anyway, back to it, 8-0, 8. It's Bang starting on the jammer line for the first time in this game.
And we are looking at Boomstick picking up a lead for Dorset. So we're kind of looking at a 6 roster now for Kent and their jammers. But Boomstick out front glides the inside, does get taken off, but the blocker joined him, so able to carry on looking for points. Meanwhile, Bang coming around, now looking for the points, but Boomstick shut that jam down and picks up the 3 points.
So tough jam for Bang really coming out straight away there. Dorset were able to keep a really tight formation around and cause that struggle, but ultimately helps them out, as you say. So 120 to 129, and we have Half-Life back on the radar wheels jammer line, joined by 789 Nesta Vipers.
And away we go into this jam, the 9-point split in favour of Kent with 18 minutes left of this second period. Nesta Vipers trying to pick up the space, but Mother Mercy, now Thunder, shutting it down, and Half-Life being taken to the back. Nesta Vipers being clipped off on the inside, and now being recycled back, but there goes your lead, B.
Yeah, I was really interested to watch Half-Life coming through that pack then, because he was caught very definitely in that brace 3 wall, but then just kind of slipped around the defences, and it was almost like Kent just forgot.
You could say he might have been greased up.
You could say that.
Well, I just did.
I did it earlier though, so you're not original. 124 plays 129, 5 points in it, Bear.
It's called a check-in. It's where we checked into a previous comment and I've brought it back to life again. So it's kind of like a segue from that into that. It's something we teach at drama school.
I'm not sure what happened then, listeners, because I had one of those moments, you know, where you zoom out.
Zoom out?
Yeah. Like, I just zoned you out. Okay, right. Drop and give me 20 with the star now for Kent. And it is number 9, Little Chef. Little Chef went to defensive mode as well, and Dorset have done that a couple of times before, just to make sure the jammers just held right into that brace position. But here we go into turn 1. Both jammers still trying to feel their way through. Drop and give me 20, not being given any space to build up any momentum. Yeah, absolutely fantastic work by the blockers of Dorset, just crowding Drop and Give Me. And in fact, that crowding pays off. Forearms penalty assessed to Drop and Give Me. So this will be a power jam for Dorset.
Yep, meanwhile, as we were just seeing as Little Chefs just trying to break on through to the other side. A couple of penalties going out to Kent, though, as 1-9 is on the way to the penalty box. Little Chefs just can't find a way through. I think that's K-Train holding strong at the back.
Little Chef just waiting for that offense. Alex is on fire, providing some, but Bang acting as that disruptor in Dorset's walls. Benton Hammer with the knockout on Bang. Allowed Little Chef opportunity, but getting a beat down from 66 Brute here.
Yeah, Brute coming in with 2 big hits, just taking Little Chefs down to the floor.
Drop and Give Me back on track and in play. Also feeling the wrath as Dorset look to impede progress. Number 7 taking it up front. That's Banjo. Slows down but cannot stop Drop and Give Me.
No. Meanwhile, Little Chef being held in that back. Kent with a brilliant penalty kill on Little Chef.
Thunder with the chase through on Drop and Give Me. Oh, sorry, not Thunder. Alexis on fire with the chase through, but cannot continue it, cannot hold him. Little Chef knocked out once again. The jam comes to an end.
Yeah, not the easiest of jams for Dorset, not being able to pick up any points. Meanwhile, Kent able to come through and pick up 5. 1-3-4 plays 1-2-4. 10-point split with 15 minutes left of this second period. And Kent just did great penalty kill work then, B. Just really held Little Chef. And Little Chef found it frustrating out there.
And you know what happens when jammers find things frustrating? They make mistakes. And so, you know, that's another tactic, I guess, isn't it? It's another layer.
It really is, and Kent just used that defense so well. They really did. But we're now back into the action of this next jam. 1-3-4, 1-2-4. Tiggs on the jammer line, trying to break on through to the other side. Boomstick saw the inside, but had it shut.
Yeah, that was Judas Priest who just denied that opportunity of the apex jump, which does mean Tiggs is your lead jammer, but this time, Boomstick, almost like on a broomstick there, just floated through the air there to get through the just past the apex. But Tiggs with the knockout calls off the jam, denies Boomstick opportunity to score any points.
We'll just wait to see what points come in. It actually looks like a zero jam. So 1-3-4, 1-2-4. Quite a low scoring game as well, really.
Yeah.
Not like super low scoring, but, you know, relatively.
Thanks. Just under 14 minutes left of this first half. Big shout out to our sponsors. Of course, this track sponsored by Just One Body. And our other track by Roller Derby City. But we're back into it with the jams. Number 27, Half-Life with the star for Dorset.
It looks like a cutting penalty has been given to Malpaca, so the power jam now swings to Dorset. Remember, just 10 points in it at this time, and Half-Life will be trying to best, full of life, and retake the lead from Kent.
Real opportunity here. Now Malpaca actually being waved back onto the track. So not sure about that miscommunication. And interestingly, Malpaca has no penalties at the moment. Half-Life knocked out. Thought they were safe, but picks up a cut track penalty. So opportunity closes now for Dorset, and the door firmly open for Malpaca and Kent.
Yeah, and as you said before, B, about Malpaca with no penalties, Malpaca has played a really good game as well.
A really good game. I feel like they're a great scorer, and I've lost my score tracking. But a great scorer, really consistent in the work that they're doing. But to be penalty free for them after yesterday's game is an absolute achievement. Malpaca coming in now, gets taken to the outside, 4-2-0. Alex is on fire, ends up in a tumble with them.
3-1-4, that's Tim Kasmachin on the way up to the penalty box now. A forearms penalty. Half-Life now being recycled back by Brute. Malpaca though, still in that scoring position, coming through, picking up 5 points.
Dorset having 2 blockers in that penalty box, 1 just returning, is really making Half-Life's life pretty difficult out on track. Malpaca up front, just pushing against a 2-wall. That's turned into a 3-wall. Malpaca though takes the outside line, picks up 4 further points for Kent.
Half-Life still trying to come through. Jam rolls it to an end, and interestingly enough, B, that Dorset actually have more penalties this half. Maybe they're a bit tired. Maybe the legs are just starting to feel it ever so slightly.
Well, a 14-point jam for Malpaca there puts Kent in a much more firm position. 1-4-8 to 1-2-8 for Dorset. Half-Life able to scrape through with those 4 points towards the end of that jam.
Yeah, 11 minutes left on the time. We do have a timeout. I believe it's an official timeout. Which leads me to say I'm officially happy to have a roller derby here in Stoke. And that's it.
Thank you.
It's not a problem, but a big shout out to the rest of the sponsors we do have here this weekend. Double Threat Skates and Radar, who are sponsoring the jamlands of both tracks. We also have Capital Badges, Events and Medical Services, which have taken care of our officials and skaters here this weekend. And we also have Ruby Fury. And if you go on the BritChamps website, you get 10% off your first order.
All the sponsors, I love it. But not just sponsors, we've also got info for you. Half-Life, 63 points out of the overall score.
That's big.
For Dorset, and Nesta with 52 points from the overall score for Kent.
So really at this time, it's like we've said earlier about Nesta being used more. Yeah. It's not such a big concern, is it, to actually be in that situation where Nesta could actually be used more in the last 11 minutes of this game to secure that win as well.
Yeah. So Bang jamming once again straight off that Radar Wheels jammer line is your lead jammer. And for Dorset, we've got a fresh jammer, Artie McSly, number 88, out on track. Artie McSly completes their initial, but it is Bang who's in a scoring position right now.
Yep, just trying to hunt down Bang. Now both jammers just coming together on 10, 3 and 4. And Artie McSly just trying to slow down. Now Bang just trying to take off Artie McSly. Bit of a dance, bit of a twirl.
And I feel like Artie McSly just needs to get on and try and grab those points, because going up against Bang
can just do that all day long,
yeah,
because the point splits there and it's all happy.
Yeah, and the time's running away.
Yep, it's running away from us all, B.
It is. Okay. I think I need to have a lie down and a think about my life. So,
while we fetched a brush, 153 plays 1-8, 25 points split in favour of Kent. We do have Boomstick and Nesta Vipers back on track.
Well, Nesta Vipers able to get forward first, but Boomstick on a roll here. Speeds through the pack to grab lead jammer. And Nesta Vipers, I think, thought that he was in a very safe position and could take his time coming up to that Dorset wall. But Boomstick had other ideas, and once again comes through, picks up those points and calls off the jam.
Yeah, all get shut down, so big jam. Just getting them back into contention. That 21-point split now with 9 minutes left to play. Big
jam, but not big points, and Dorset need to go there.
No, but if you do run a few jams like this, it gets you right back into this game. You've still got 9 minutes left.
We'll agree to disagree.
No, we will not.
I will not agree with you. I will not agree to disagree with you. I just want to disagree with you. Number 20, Drop and Give Me with a star for Kent. And number 27, it is Half-Life for Dorset.
Yeah, Half-Life just being held at the back as Drop and Give Me using that upper body strength, able to come through and picks up your lead.
We're seeing a star pass in action, I believe, to Thunder for Dorset.
Yep, Thunder out of the pack now, just trying to get the star on into play. First time we've seen Thunder with the star.
But Drop and Give Me in the mix once again on a scoring pass. Thunder though, coming forward, slowed down by K-Train. And actually picking up a penalty there. So this is going to be a power jam to Dorset. Believe a cut track penalty to Kent's jammer.
Looks that way, and it's like we're back into 2013 watching Thunder jam.
I don't know, I'm not close to that. So Thunder knocked out, forced to reset behind a wall from Kent. Dorset blockers coming in and looking to run some disruption lines. Yeah, on the outside line there.
Yeah, meanwhile Thunder just trying to feel the way on the outside, and it does pay off. Of course, Thunder, an ex-SDRD player, an ex-SDRD jammer, so really the experience could be a big tell here as they roll into the last 30 seconds of this jam to get them right back into this game, and they are doing so.
Drop and Give Me back in the mix. Knocked out and recycled though. Thunder also feeling the same. And Thunder just checking in to see whether that was a penalty. And in fact, yes, a 4 rounds penalty being assessed to Thunder. Bench is giving them the signal to hustle to the seat. But Thunder looking a little bit winded there from that last passage of play. And Drop and Give Me with the opportunity now to once again increase this lead and stretch it out in favour of Kent.
Yeah, just when Dorset was starting to edge right back into the single digits of that point differential, the penalty just told against them favour. 162-140, that 22-point split with just under 7 minutes left to play.
Yeah, so that's like a 9-8 jam in favour of Kent. And of course, Kent will be starting on a power jam as Thunder sits in the penalty box. It is Tiggs with the star on the radar wheels jam line. Takes the inside, finds it pretty clear.
A couple of bodies hitting the deck as well as we just roll into turn 1. Tiggs trying to fight their way through and now just being held with the 4 blockers of Dorset. Tiggs really getting that pack moving. Last line of defense, and there goes your lead jam. So Thunder was maybe hoping Addy McSlay was going to be out, and Addy McSlay was like, I'm off to the penalty box, mate. Off you
Sorry,
go.
I need to sit down.
Yeah.
I've just come up against Tiggs, and it was intense, my friend. Tai Cheetah tries to land a late hit, doesn't quite hit it the way they would have liked, I think, and so Tiggs is out and on that scoring pass. Coming in once again, number 7 for Dorset, that's Banjo, tries to shut out Tiggs, but Tiggs just keeps on rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. Thunder is out of the pack. 2 blockers for Kent. At this time, Tiggs, meanwhile, again, a couple of bodies just hitting the spill on that 10-1. But Tiggs is through, picking up the points as Thunder comes back around and comes through the pack of the last 2 of Kent. But big points being picked up by Kent, which with 5 minutes to go, Dorset are going to have to pull out something pretty big.
Yeah, I agree. But again, I feel it's that Kent's jammers are really able to be their own blockers and create their own holes and things like that. And that's a real game changer against a team like Dorset, where they do seem to hang back and wait for the offense a little bit more.
No, absolutely. I mean, as you said before, Pete, it's dominance. We've just seen it in nearly every jam. In these last 5 jams, we've seen that dominance creep up.
Yeah, it's elevated.
Yes.
105, Malpaca with the star, but lead jammer goes to Little Chef, who's just been knocked out and recycled to the very back of that pack there.
Yeah, Little Chef just kind of looked and maybe was thinking about jumping straight back on track. That wouldn't have worked out well. Little Chef decided to run this jam, but Malpaca already back around and looking for points. So whatever Little Chef is thinking, it's going to happen very soon, but now gets taken off yet again. Great defensive work from Bang. Bang has been pivotal in this game so far.
Little Chef just really being held at the back of that pack by Bang, 808.
As Tiggs is coming back around, Malpaca coming back around. And Little Chef just shuts the jam down.
Did get that signal finally from his bench to shut it down, but I think it was a little bit too late because the damage was already done.
Yeah.
I'm not being critical because it's easy for me to stand here with my bird's eye view and say it, but it was that lack of awareness about what was happening around, and the fact that the jammer was on those scoring passes and there was no need in a way to tire the Dorset blockers out. We could have just shut that jam down and run a restart. Anyway, 105, Boomstick with the star for Dorset.
Boomstick taking a big hit, being taken off by Chief, but meanwhile there goes Nesta Vipers, and not for the first time today, picking up your lead for Kent. And Kent now with that 38-point spread at this time.
Beautiful work by Boomstick to get around on the outside. Nesta Vipers preferring to just blam straight through the middle of a pack to pick up 4 points. And just as Boomstick hits the back of that pack and sees the points, they were in licking distance there. Nesta Vipers calls off the jam.
Absolutely. 4 points picked up at the end of that pass. 186 now plays 144, a 42-point spread. And we're looking at 2 minutes and a few seconds left to play.
Looks like we've got a quick officials timeout. I'm saying it's quick, I don't know. You never know until they're done, do you?
10 hours later.
We could all be stood here tomorrow. Work will not be happy. So just want to have a quick check-in on those penalties. Well, we do have this official timeout. Going to come in. Oh, there's penalties everywhere. Malpaca, though, still with a clean sheet. Brute in a little bit, oh, sorry, Judas Priest in a little bit of danger. And Bang able to just keep hold of those 4 penalties and not increase that. But Bang's actually been on track quite a lot. They've jammed, you know, they've been in the mix.
They really have, and the thing is I think every time we've seen Bang on track, Bang has been doing some great work as well, and really putting themselves on the line to make sure the offense and defense work so well. I think Bang's been the standout player in this game. I agree. Really do.
I agree. I'm with you.
All the way.
I'm not agreeing to disagree this time, I'm actually agreeing. Well, Dorset riling up the crowd for some support.
And why not indeed?
2 minutes 29 left on the clock and a 144, 186 scoreline. They'd most definitely need it right now, Bear.
Absolutely, and just looking at the points that have been picked up by Dorset, Half-Life picking up the 63 points, Chef picking up the 48, and Boom picking up 23 points. Going to have to have a big jam to turn that around.
Well, it is Half-Life back on the track right now with the star for Dorset, but up front, number 20, Drop and Give Me, is your lead jammer for Kent. Half-Life able to be sprung free, but about half a lap behind Kent's jammer, and the pack is being raced.
Yeah, Rudy picking that speed up as well, just controlled at the front by Mother Mercy. Drop and Give Me hunting down these points. Look as though they're just trying to get a little bit more time to set it up. Drop and Give Me decides to shut the jam down. No points picked up for both jammers.
Yeah.
But they don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. That's not their concern, Bear.
Absolutely.
Half-Life was just entering the back of the pack and in the scoring zone. So great call off by Kent, perfectly timed. And we are resetting. So we have number 17 Tiggs with the star.
Yes, we do. And it looks like 109 Boomstick just bringing themselves into play.
And Boomstick literally on track at the last possible second. I thought he was just going to go straight up that outside line then, but Bang was in the way, shutting that door. Now Brute with the knockout and recycle back. Tig's going to have to try and find some space between this wall of orange from Dorset. Well, Boomstick just feeling that recycle. It's like Groundhog Day out on the track for him right now. Boom with the big hit. Takes himself out more than Broomstick.
Yeah, and just on the inside, Chief tries to get the last bit hit on Boomstick. Both jammers through pretty much at the same time, but it looks as though it's Boomstick who has got the lead.
So Pack isn't racing as Dorset go to player. But Tiggs does hit the Pack first. Jam's called. Oh, sorry, Boomstick picked up the 1 point. And Tiggs wasn't able to pick up any. So 145 plays 186. Just under, or just over 20 seconds left of this jam this game. Jam and game.
Jam the game?
Jam the game.
Jam the game.
Join me for Jam the Games.
Welcome to Jam the Games.
So this will likely be our last jam, barring anything amazing and exciting happen. And it's 105 Malpaca with the star for Kent.
Yep, and we're looking at Half-Life trying to break on through to the other side. And just checking in with them points just as we roll to the end. Nesta picking up the biggest points total for Kent. Not surprised at all with that. Then it's Malpaca, Tiggs, and Drop and Give Me 20. Right now, no lead jammer picked up though, as Half-Life and Malpaca still trying to find their way through. Penalty though being picked up by K-Train. There goes your lead.
That's Half-Life, and in fact this is a lead and a power jam as a cut track penalty assessed to Malpaca. Clean sheet all the way through this game there, and in this final jam picks up the cut track penalty. Opportunity now for Dorset. Trying to do my maths, it's a 41 point differential.
It is.
So it would be amazing, not necessarily impossible.
It would have to be pretty darn Excelsior.
Half-Life's team standing and cheering. Mother Mercy though off to the penalty box. Two blocker and a jammer for Kent standing in that penalty box.
Big recycle happening all the way back. K-Train waiting the attention, but Half-Life able to get back into play. Big hit coming in.
Well, Malpaca back on track and in play. Thunder with a hit out, but Thunder goes down. And Jam continues on as Half-Life knocked back and recycled once again. Malpaca coming in now for a scoring pass. Artie McSly up front. Thunder also in attendance. Macbeth last to pass. Artie McSly now last to pass for Malpaca. They're through. 5 points on the board.
But Half-Life not finding any give from this Kent dominance yet again, as Half-Life just cannot find a way through. Kent's defense has been on point in this game. And we're seeing it again as Malpaca just evades the hits of Artie McSly and comes through.
Well, Malpaca has done some sterling jamming work in this game and overall this weekend, and seeing the joy on their face then as the final whistle went, totally worth it. Absolutely.
It was a big tough game out there, and just when Dorset thought they were getting back into it, I think it was that jam where they were just getting back into it, and then they lost the jammer, lost Thunder to a power jam, and Kent just seized control after that.
Absolutely. So we're just going to wait for that score to become final, but as you can see, it's looking like, oh, there you go, 150 to Dorset and 196 to Kent.
So as things just break apart here, it's just worth to say just how good Kent were. This was a third and fourth playoff decider. There's no medals to be won on this one, I'm afraid.
No medals, and oh, sad times.
Sad times.
What's coming up next on this track there?
Let me tell you what's coming up on this track. We do have the Tier 3 WFTDA third and fourth losers from the first 2 games. So we have got Nottingham, and they'll be coming up against Wiltshire.
So an exciting game for sure, but do go and join our roller derby city track for some more roller derby action in your eyeballs. I don't think we've got anything left to say about this game because I think we said it all during the whole entire game, Bear. So all that's left to say is thanks very much. I've been the lovely Beatrix.
And I've been Roller Polar Bear.